Hello again, John Baker here from RotacRepair.ca. I was out the other day doing a gearbox service on a 912 ULS, and I noticed, well, I looked at some other things on it while I was there, and I noticed that the starter, as you can see, the starter here, was leaking oil. Really? How can the starter leak oil? Well, follow along here. I'm going to take it apart and we'll see how much oil is in it, if any, and we'll go from there. Let's break these free, and I'm just going to run them out with my little electric gun because they're long screws. It takes a while to undo them by hand. I've marked this already so that I know the orientation of it when I put it back together. And let's slide the end off. Whoa, how's that? See? Fair amount of oil inside of the starter. Wow, look at all of that oil that's come out of this while I've been away for a few minutes. So it's draining nicely. There's still a little bit left in it. It's so gross and dirty, but right in here, try and get the light right. Right here is a seal, and this seal is sealing onto the shaft, or it's supposed to be. Now, why does it need a seal there? Well, when this is, let me just put that back on, it bolts onto the engine right here. So this part of it, so this part of the housing and the gear here are actually inside the crankcase. And of course, as we know, this starter housing is on the outside. So this is on the outside. This part here is on the inside of the engine. So it's open to the crankcase. So as you know, or maybe not, how does the oil that goes into the engine get pumped back to the oil tank? Well, crankcase pressure, which naturally occurs because there's a little bit of blow by, so a little bit of the compression escapes past the piston rings into the crankcase. So the crankcase is, in a sense, pressurized, and that's what happens here. So the oil ends up getting pushed up the shaft and goes by the seal and ends up inside of the starter. So anyway, that's how you have a starter can leak oil, because it's full of oil. Like, look at the amount of oil that came out of this. So what I'll be doing with this starter is take it completely apart, wash it all out, because it's going to just be absolutely soaked inside, brushes. Okay, just look at the oil on it, right? So I'm going to wash it all up, completely clean it. I'll be renewing the seal in here. The seal I'll renew for sure, and the O-ring here I'll renew, and I'll do all the testing on the starter, because it's amazing that they even work like this and start the engine. But eventually it was not going to, because the brushes will get all gummed up and the armature burns, because the electricity is trying to go from the brush to the armature, and it's all got the oil in between it and bad contact. So I'm sure I'll end up cleaning the armature up on this one too. You can see here it's burned there right into the surface, because the electricity current has been going from the brush into the armature through all of this oil, and of course there's a bit of a burning process there. The owner of the airplane didn't mention that it was turning over any slower than normal, but I'm sure that he's probably maybe been getting used to it and didn't notice. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today. I thought I'd like to explain, as I said, how can the starter leak oil? That's how the starter can leak oil. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, all those things that YouTube likes. Thank you so much. Bye now.